Hi everyone, it's Sean here from the Canadian College of English Language in Vancouver. It's been a long time and I hope you're doing well. We thought now that so many of you are studying at home virtually while in-person classes are temporarily on hold, that we would put together some new videos, some new content to help you with your studies. So today I thought that we would start with some functional language with a lesson that we do on day one of our college communications class here at Canadian College. And it's a lesson all about communicating with your instructor. Okay, so it's essential for you to communicate with your instructor if you have a question or a problem. You need an extension on an assignment, you don't understand the instructions of an assignment, you have an emergency and can't attend a class or a test. You have to communicate with your instructor. Okay, it's essential. Now, these days, more than ever, a lot of that communication is going to happen through email. Okay, so email is obviously very convenient, but it can sometimes come with challenges. I'm sure all of us at some point have received an email or a text message, and there was something about the language, something about the tone or the feeling or the words that the person chose, or how short it was or how long it was that we just didn't like, that it possibly upset us or made us angry or irritated us in some way. So we obviously want to avoid that. So language is very subtle. Writing is an art. And that's why for many international students whose first language is not English, communicating through writing can be difficult. So I thought today we would start by looking at some tips for writing an effective, clear, polite email to your instructor that will hopefully get the positive results that you are looking for. Okay, so let's start by looking at an example of what not to do. Okay, so again, this is an example of an email that you should not write to your instructor. Okay. I really need your help, man. I'm sick. Can you give me a chance to redo the homework? If not, you're going to fail me in the homework and maybe the whole course. Please, sir, please. It's a humble request. Please, bro. Can you help me? All right. So again, this is not the email that you write to your instructor, but this is, unfortunately, an actual email that I have received from a student. Okay. So let's look at an example of an email that you should write, okay? A more appropriate version of that email, rewritten, and then I'll kind of break it down and give you some tips here, some pointers. So, dear Professor Ogilvy, how are you? This is Sean McLeod, 171516, from your college communication class on Mondays at 12. I'm writing because, unfortunately, I'm too ill to attend today's class, and I'm wondering if it's possible to submit my assignment to you next week. I understand the due date is today, but I would appreciate an extension so that my absence does not negatively affect my grade in the course. Thank you very much, Sean. Okay, so the second email, much better than the first. And let's break it down and talk about why, okay? So here are the tips. The first one to keep in mind is to start your email with a greeting. Okay, you need to address the person that you're writing to. So address your instructor. In most cases, you may want to address that person formally, with something like professor or doctor, but it depends on the situation. In some colleges, like our own, for example, usually the instructors, you can just refer to them by their first name. Okay, but definitely address your instructor. If you want, you can also include some form of nicety, right? A one sentence, one question asking, how are you? Or I hope you are well. It's not essential, but it's nice. Okay, that's a good start. Next, very important, you want to identify yourself immediately. Now it seems obvious, but it's something that many students forget to include, which is your name, your full name, student number if you have it, the name of the course, the day and the time at which you take this course. Remember that Your instructor may have many students, some may have the same name as you, and your teachers may have many sections of the same course. So you really want to make it clear who you are and how they know you. Okay? Next tip is be straightforward and concise, which means kind of get to the point. All right? You want to avoid long, rambling sentences. You don't have to tell them a big story. You don't have to beg for forgiveness, and you don't have to, beat around the bush before you get to the point. It's a bit of a balance because you don't want to be so short that it seems impolite. Okay, but again, your teachers may be very busy. They may have hundreds of emails from students to read, so you want to keep it direct and to the point. Okay. Next, which was a major mistake in that first email that I showed you, is avoid using slang. You don't include emojis in your email to your teacher. No common texting abbreviations, and never refer to your instructor as bro in an email. All right, next, use proper punctuation, capitalization, grammar, all of the rules of English that you have learned in classes. You want to show and use in your email. If this email looks like you quickly thumbed it out on your phone and didn't give any thought to it, it does send another message to your instructor that you're not very serious and maybe you don't care about their time. Okay, so make sure that you're using the rules of the language and proper grammar and punctuation. Next, you want to use polite language. You want to politely formulate your request or your problem. So certain expressions that we use to kind of soften the language when you're about to make a request or ask for something. Things like, I was wondering if, or is it possible to, would I be able to? These, as I said, they really soften the language and seem much more polite in your communication to your instructor. Also, important, you want to try to show in the email that you are responsible, that you're serious, that you take ownership of the issue or the problem. So you want to let the instructor know that you have done what you can do first to solve the problem or find the answer before you send them the email. So let me just give you another example of an email, kind of the same professor, but I've just changed it slightly. So again, this is, Dear Professor Ogilvy, how are you? I introduce myself, and then I say, I'm hoping you can confirm the due date for our next essay assignment. I'm sure you have already provided this information, but I have looked at the course outline and previous class emails and was unable to find it. Thank you for your time. So again, that just shows your instructor that you're not just emailing them immediately without doing any of the work yourself. Again, it sends a message of your own commitment and seriousness. And lastly, of course, very important, is to sign off at the end of your email. Sign off with a thank you, regards, all the best, something like that. And then proofread it, read it once or twice first, and then you can send it off. Okay, so I think if you follow these tips, you're more likely to get the positive response back from your instructor that you're hoping for, and to keep healthy communication and avoid any kind of miscommunication or misunderstandings. Okay, so speaking of signing off, that is it for me this time. Thank you for watching. And if you are interested in learning more about the classes here at CCEL and the CCEL live classes, where you can virtually join our teachers here in Vancouver and classmates from all over the world in real time, live, check out the link below, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.